Do not fret, Carson Anagado. Your death will not be in vain. We will light the Mars Lighthouse in your honor to save the village and the world. Just as soon as I give to this stone statue of a dragon head that randomly talked to me. Greeting interwebs and grandchildren, this is Jackit and welcome to another edition of Let's Play Golden Sun: The Lost Age. Last time in our adventures, we fought against the dragons of the Mars Lighthouse, only to realize that it was Adigos and Kars, but not before it was too late. We did get the Mars Star though, so in their honor, to respect their death, we must light the lighthouse, if there wasn't already enough at stake for lighting this particular lighthouse. Though first we give it to the dragon head, which I always found odd, but it is sort of explained from a gameplay standpoint. I mean, I guess you could trust a stone statue of a dragon head because it's probably like a guardian of the lighthouse or something. But yeah, it kind of revives the lighthouse, so it's kind of required. And we get the star back pretty much right away, so there's not really anything more to it. For some reason I thought Carson Aligano would say something different after the lighthouse was revived. So that was my explanation for talking to them. But I think we can actually retreat out of here because it's quicker. A lot of times when you reach a dead end, retreating will end up being quicker than just going through the lighthouse and backtracking. With the Mars Lighthouse revived though, we can access that flame and use the dragon head to pretty much clear out the other side so we can access a new area of the lighthouse. I mean, I know we still haven't lit the lighthouse, but anytime the sources I read reference this point of the game, they call it reviving the lighthouse, so I might as well do the same. I guess there's always lighting the lighthouse reserved for when the lighthouse is actually lit in Golden Sun terminology. Now, from what I recall, we're going to be running into something I've been waiting to get for a really long time now. Unfortunately, running into dead ends will not make getting to this thing that I desire any more possible. So guys, remember that the Djinn of the Mars element that we couldn't get a hold of? We're finally on the other side of that pipe, and we can finally fight it and make it join our party. And once it does, we've collected every single Djinn in the game, since I've already taken care of the ones that appear in the optional dungeons. A few good Azul summons should do more than plenty to finish the job. I guess there's the matter of deciding who does those summons though. I'm assuming that's the only reason I hesitated with just summon rushing the guy. So much hesitation, oh my gosh, Jackit of the past, it's just a Djinn! Choose your summons and stick to it! That is kind of weird to actually address myself as the past. Oh, as the past? I am the past! I am the present! I am the future! And I have no idea what I just said. But it certainly did sound cool, so I'll stick to it. This is a random topic, but since this is the last time I'll get to bring it up, why do they make the Djinns run in battle? I mean, sure there's enemies that do that, but since you just re-enter the room again, isn't it just annoying? I mean, don't even answer that question. It is annoying, but what's the purpose behind it? Doesn't really add that much extra challenge, just makes it more tedious to get to the Djinn. Because these fights aren't boss level hard. I mean, they're slightly stronger than a normal monster, but they're still not really anything to be threatened by. Although past experiences with monsters in these past few dungeons have certainly proved that I should not take even the most minor enemies lightly. But still, actually, those monsters given me more trouble in this game than the Djinns have. I never was in fear of having my whole party wiped out from a Djinn. Granted, I was never that way with the monsters either, but they still have done more damage to me than the Djinns. I can't even recall a time when the Djinn has wiped out my party, or even taken out more than one party member. Oh, by the way, this is the only time we're actually required to go in the room. Kinda glad I went into it before. You who hold the star, open your heart and listen. If you wish to scuttle to heaven, set something aflame. I don't know. I think faster than I can talk. And I forget what I'm saying because I talk so fast. I don't even remember what I said the dragon. But to finish up what I was saying before, I actually like how different the room is when you go in there the first time, and how it's just all full of lava now. I guess I'm glad I accidentally stumbled into it, if only to show off what the room looked like. I mean, out of all the times I cut out going into that room, I'm pretty sure I left one time in. At least one. And yeah, it's the RPG syndrome. If there's an alternative path, you just are inclined to go to it, because you never know when they're going to hide treasure there. I never actually talked about Fugue, and since we have a little time, I'll briefly discuss him, even though the sidebar can explain a lot of it. Fugue is an interesting Djinn, because I don't believe there's the Djinn that drains away the full synergy. Then again, I never use draining abilities that much. I rarely use the Djinns that drain away health, let alone anything that drains away synergy points. And by the way, it's kind of interesting. There's obviously a need for fire, but there's no fire for us to actually play with. And as you know, Blaze is completely worthless without fire already existing. Therefore, it's a useless synergy. Now that I should go through here the right way, because as you might be able to guess, it took me a few times to figure out how to solve this ice sliding puzzle. More times than it should have, to be perfectly frank. Just like it took me more times than it should have to solve this particular puzzle, even though I feel it's kinda obvious. But I can understand if it requires a little trial and error to figure this one out. And we do have to make use out of Frostbolt things. Finally getting use out of that Frost Gen that we got from the first game. Yes, I know. You can get it with the Fall class, but come on. When was the last time I used either Mia's or Pierre's default class? I am literally using Sir Dice-a-Lot to freeze these puddles when I have two perfectly capable water adepts on hand, just because of classes. I think that center pipe messed me up at first because I thought of pushing that in last, and then I couldn't push it in because the fire would melt the ice and all that glorious stuff. But now since I've done that, we can move onwards through the dungeon. And guess what? Now that we got a torchlit, we can actually make use of our utility fire synergy. Isn't it awesome? Having a fire-based utility synergy, and only being able to use it when fire already exists. Isn't it amazing to have the ability to summon fire, but only when fire is already in existence? I know, it's freaking amazing, and if you can't tell from the sarcasm in my voice, I am still not over the fact that Blaze is pathetic for a final fire-based synergy in the game. No, I am not getting over that anytime soon. Even if it's on Jenna, that's surprisingly not enough to make me forgive this synergy. Anyways, RPG syndrome right there again. I swear they gonna put something of value in these dead ends one of these days. By the way, pay note to the shapes that these have. Before, after they're glowing, doesn't really matter, but pay note of the shape of these. I find it kind of interesting, and once we've gone through each of these sections and made them all light up, I'll explain what's so special about them, or at least what I find cool about them. In the meantime, just look at the shapes, try to make a symbolism of what they are, and you'll have an idea what I'm thinking. Anyways, in the next episode of Let's Play Golden Sun: The Lost Age, we will go through the remaining doors and get them lit up as well. This has been Jackit K, and I will see you all for the next episode.